Hello you bloated arse cheeks, and today I am going to be reviewing Fallout New Vegas, because it's smashing. That means good in Scotland, right? Smashing means good. Cracking means good. Gemmy means good. Alright, glad we got that cleared up. Let's move on with the review, right? And we'll dive into this one as deep as we can go, because this is a big arsed game, okay? A big humongous game. Story's not big though, but you don't play Fallout and Bethesda open world games in general just for the basic story. That would be a mistake on your part. And yeah, so let's have a look.
Guess who's waking up over here?
Time to cash out.
Will you get it over with?
Maybe cons kill people without looking them in the face. But I ain't a fink. Dig? You've made your last delivery, kid. Sorry you got twisted up in this scene. From where you're kneeling must seem like an 18-carat run of bad luck. Truth is, the game was rigged from the start.
Fallout New Vegas was released on the 19th of October 2011. That's the same year as Skyrim. What a good year that was for open world RPGs of certain types. Now, this is not a Bethesda made product. This is made by Obsidian Entertainment, which originally was Interplay, Black Isle Studios, I believe. These are the guys responsible for the original Fallout 1 and 2. I don't know who made Fallout Tactics, so don't ask. But Fallout went back home for a wee while, and it turned out to be quite buggy and quite a mess when it first released. Now, there are reasons for this. The Obsidian were only given 18 months, 1 year and a half to make the bloody thing. Don't know why. And then Bethesda promised them they got an 85% on Metacritic, they'd get their bonuses, and then they got 84 and still didn't give it to them. So yeah, I'm pretty sure there was a lot of cursing and swearing and dart throwing at pictures of Todd Howard and the like, you know, just subtle things. But now that they're all under the same banner of Xbox, they have to get on, don't they? So where's Fallout New Vegas 2 or Fallout LA? Get it sorted, Microsoft. You've got all the resources, people want it, fucking make it happen. Aye, so basically the bugs were not Obsidian's fault, not directly anyway. They were under extreme time constraints. But the whole irony of the situation is, I think most people consider of the new generation of Fallout games, Fallout 3, New Vegas and 4 and 76, that New Vegas is probably the most well-loved and more highly regarded of the series, so I hope they do get to make another one. That would be absolutely smashing, because they did make Outer Worlds. Now the Outer Worlds is just Fallout in space. It feels like a Fallout game. The combat's the same, only it's a lot tighter and a lot more fun. The way they handle the conversations is the same. Even when you get the bit where you'll stand still and the camera will pan round the character when you're not playing the game, that's in there. So it's like, Jesus, this is just Fallout, but you know, competently made, shitely made in that fucking Gamebryo engine that Bethesda insist on using. But I don't think they're gonna get to use that anymore. Get that shit to fuck. I still think Starfield's gonna be with the Gamebryo engine, and that makes me very nervous. It looks nice, but something's no right. They can't have made that in a new engine. There wouldn't have been the time, unless they have made it in a new engine. Because I know the Microsoft acquisition of ZeniMax, those kind of deals don't just go through overnight. So they could have said, look, we're going to be taking this over, right? Make this game in a better engine, or we'll put you in a casket and fire you into the sun. Probably something like that, you know, or more monetary incentives like, Todd boy, Sorry. You wanna make this in a better engine and I'll give you another fucking Tesla, you wank. Something like that, aye. Anyway, I know Black Isle or Obsidian or whatever they were called were making Fallout 3 at the time of it all falling apart. So I'm wondering how much of that actually made it into this game. Probably quite a bit. I mean, it's set in a very similar setting to Fallout 2. So I'm thinking that a lot of those sort of early games, a lot of those ideas have migrated and made it into the 3D one, which is great. So it's a spectacularly made game for the time they made it in. I mean, had been given a normal, like maybe even a 5-year schedule to make the damn thing, I think this would have been very special when it came out. But it is now. It's been patched out the wazoo, so I wouldn't worry about any bugs other than, you know, bad engine bugs. But there you go. That's the assets that we're given, and you can only make a cake as good as what you're given and as good as you are taught to make it. Right, so now I'm going to chat about the characters and the factions and the daubers that you will, you know, come to meet through this wonderful wasteland. So the main factions are the NCR, Caesar's Legion, the Pricks in New Vegas, which is Mr. House, I believe, or no, Doctor House. That's a different program. That's a whole different thing entirely. Hugh Laurie is not in this game. That's a bit of a shame, isn't it? Hugh Laurie's not in this game. Anyway. So that's like your three main factions. I think there's smaller ones, like when you first play the game and you're in that wee town that I forget the name of, and you meet Doc Mitchell. Yeah, there's a name I can remember. And Cheyenne, which is the Doug, and I think somebody called Betty. No, that's not right. But those daubers that you first meet in the first town. What the fuck is that called? Riverdale? Jobbydale? Hold on. The town is called Good Springs, and when you first come out into this town, there's ways in which you can deal with the inhabitants. You can ignore them, go your own way, and head towards wherever the fuck it is you're going on your map. You can side with them against the powder gangers and wipe them out, or you can side against the town with the powder gangers and have the powder gangers take over the town. I have such done nothing with that at the moment because I don't know if I really want to do anything with it. Never really occurred to me not to do anything. So that, you know, you could just fucking walk away and let them go on with it, and I don't think anything actually happens. One of the powder gangers called Joe Cobb, what a fucking name, Joe Cobb, corn on the cob, turns up and says, "Oh, you need to gaze this cunt is hiding in your fucking petrol station." How? Because he's a prick. Can't remember the story, but he belongs with some sort of fucking caravan company that escort people through the wasteland, and then you get hit with death claws and you get eaten, and they eat you fucking fast. Oh, the Great Khans, there's another faction. They're like, I think they're Mongolian. I don't know actually. I think they're Khan, Genghis. Aye, they're Mongolian. Don't know why they don't have Native Americans. Well, they do, but not at the moment. That's a DLC pack we'll talk about down the line. And there's lots to unpack about this game. There's lots to talk about. I can't remember everything because there's wee settlements here, there, and fucking everywhere. But in this playthrough, I'm going to Caesar's Legion because I need to get my evil achievements. So that's what I'm going to do. I don't like being evil though. It's not really in my nature to be a bad bastard. But you know, I'll force myself. If I see somebody that I can kill and get away with killing them, I'm going to fucking shoot their head off with a shotgun. So that's the main factions, and you can make the mistake that I made when I first played this game. And I got it for the 360, and I made enemies of fucking everybody. And when you get to the final mission at the Hoover Dam, I got my arse kicked severely and had to actually restart the game, because once you've begun the final mission, you have to see it through. And when everybody's attacking you right off the bat, it makes for a very frustrating experience. So just watch what you're doing. You can piss everybody off, and you're fucked at that point in time. It's funny though, but it's a game killer. It's a run killer. And you just need to start again or go from a previous save. So I have more than one save file. Alright, there's quite a number of ghoulies and baddies to fight in this, depending on which faction you're going with, or if you're just going to remain neutral with everyone. Be aware that you need to watch who you're killing. If you want to stay neutral with all the packs, all the factions, you can't kill any of them, so you just best ignoring them. Even if you see them fighting one another, just walk on by. And then you've got all kinds of beasties. You've got geckos, you've got bloat flies, rad scorpions, and those things are a pain in the buttock cheeks. You've got giant fucking ants. You've got something called a cazador, which is basically a mutated wasp, and they things are fucking horrible. Once they sting you, they'll poison you, and oh my god, avoid them at all costs. You've got something called a night stalker, which is what looks like, it's like a snake head with the body of like a mountain lion. We are in California, so aye, well no, we're in Nevada, no California, sorry, wrong state. All looks the same enemy, just a big dust bowl of shite, no water, nothing. Why anyone would choose to live, never mind. Then you've got mercs, you've got ghouls, you've got the yaogwai bears, which are Japanese bears. So many fucking things to kill, and so many things to be killed by. You've also got the death claws. Now the death claws are something you want to avoid, even when you're higher level. I was at my highest level when I came across an alpha or a mother deathclaw, and it still killed me in one hit. So I just beware when you're fighting these things. The best weapon to fight a deathclaw is the alien blaster. Now when you start the game, you'll need to put a perk on called the Wacky or Wild Wasteland, in which case you will find to the west of New Vegas, you will find a crashed spaceship with aliens to kill, and you'll get your alien blaster. Be aware you can't reload this once you run out of ammo, so save it for the big boys, save it for the deathclaws, save it for them, because they're a fucking pain in the arse, and you'll find them all over the shop. Other things, there's also Brotherhood of Steel, and you'll come across the Powder Gangers. I've already said that. There is actually a Native American tribe in the lower parts of New Vegas called the Boomers. They're a bunch of pricks. I think that's just about it. That's all the sort of the things you're going to encounter. There'll be other things that I've forgotten about, or there's things that I'm just not telling you because I might tell you everything. Do you know what I mean? That's dull. You need to experience some things for yourself, and there is tons to miss. So just when you're going through the game, take your time, explore, and that's really the beauty of it, is the exploration. And now we'll round this video off by talking about the gameplay, the environments, and all that jazz, you know, all that schism. So the gameplay is quite difficult actually, especially when you start the game. I know the game is an open world game, but when you first begin, you really can't go anywhere other than towards Prim. If you head towards any other way out of the town, you'll get hit by giant rad scorpions, fucking cazadors, night stalkers, death claws. It's a cluster fluff fuck, and I find it quite irritating because you're then stuck. You are stuck in a very narrow path up until a certain point where you can deal with these creatures, but At the start of the game, you have to go one way, I'm afraid. So the start of the game can be a tad tedious for that reason, because like, go play a game again. I want to maybe make a different character and make an evil playthrough, a good playthrough. And you have to go through this rigmarole, and you either decide to destroy the town with the powder gangers, or side with the townsfolk, or ignore it. Those are your three options. You can ignore the whole thing and just fuck off down the road. That's what I did. I ignored it this time. You can play the game in first or third person mode. Don't recommend third person because it's really not designed for it. It's fine if you're out in the open, but if you're in a building, it's a complete and utter nightmare. And the other Fallout games are guilty of this as well. Skyrim, they tried to sort of rectify that, but these games are made to be played first person. So unless you really want an extra challenge, I would suggest leaving it in first person. Now the side quests in this game and their abundance is unbelievable. There's fucking millions of side quests. I did one at the Repcon facility when I hit Novak. Talked to Manny and he's like, you need to take care of these ghouls because they keep spilling out of this fucking place and they're scaring away all our customers. So you're like, right, cool, I'll go up and see what's what. So you trot on up. Then when you discover the location, you can then fast travel back and forward, which is what I do. And then you're sort of greeted with a voice saying, come to the control room, yeah, Fanny. And you get besieged with ghouls, feral ghouls. Then you meet nice ghouls, nice ghouls. And they're like, gonna get rid of the super mutants in the basement. Then this is where you'll meet the Nightkin. What do you think you're doing? The Nightkin are new. Well, the first I've ever seen them anyway. And they've all been driven insane because they like to use stealth boys, and they're there because they think there's a big stealth boy shipment. And there's a lot of options. You can go in guns blazing. You can talk to the super mutant leader and say, look, well, I want to find these stealth boys for you because you're just killing each other and it's a kind of a waste. Even in doing that though, you kind of still have to fight the Nightkin because they will just attack you on sight because they're insane. Then you'll go into a room and you'll find another ghoul and he's like, oh, I've got a female friend ghoul, gonna go find her. And then you're tearing away through the basement if you want. You can just bloater them if you like, but the options are there. And this is what's great about this game, is that the options to try and end things in a few different ways so that you're not stuck pigeonholed into this one way of playing the game. But the game is quite broken. It is a very, very it's a distinct sort of an acquired taste. You're not going to know if you like this game until you've played it yourself. You can't watch videos and go, oh, I might like that or I might not. You need to get your hands on it and get a feel for it. The shooting's off. The whole thing just doesn't work, but at the same time it really does work. I normally like to try and just play it like a first person shooter, but it's not. It's closer to like a Borderlands, but it's not a looter shooter. But the sort of, you've got the health, the health bar for each enemy, and it's not the same. It's very strange. So I only draw the comparison to Borderlands is because it's not like a Call of Duty, you get a headshot and the person dies. That doesn't always happen in Borderlands. It happens sometimes if you get good weaponry, but generally it'll take a couple of headshots. Well, it's the same in this. It will take several headshots because it's like a dice roll thing. It's an RPG. It's not a shooter, even though there's shooting in it. You say, oh, it's in first person, so it's an FPS. No. It is an open world role-playing game, and you need to approach it in that way. Can't go, oh, it's just open world Call of Duty with laser guns. No. You're going to die a lot. There's going to be a lot of trial and error when you first play it. I'm still trial and error on it. I'm like, oh, I should really do well in this bit and get fucking trounced. Yes, so there's a lot of to and fro, which is great because it gives you a lot of options and lets you try different things and see if you can worm your way out of situations and not actually be in a fight, which is great. It's great fun. And you've got the speech system, which is the best speech system because it tells you if you'll pass it or not. There'll be marks out of 50. If you've put a lot of points like I do into speech, and I put a lot of points, I got like 50 points into speech at the moment, 45, 50. and it'll tell you like you need 75 and you've only got 50 of 75. It'll not work no matter what, which is good. No matter where you go, the exploration is a key for this game. It's one of the big keys, along with character development and your basic role-playing game feel, and trials and errors and all that shit. So it's a bloody good time, and it's a game you're gonna spend hundreds of hours in this. I think I've spent about 300 in each of the big Fallout games. Then you've got the DLC. So if you're gonna buy it, get the Ultimate Edition if you can, because you've got all the DLC packs, and there's not a shit DLC pack within Fallout New Vegas. They are all fucking amazing. I will look at them down the road, but not just now. Not just now. I want to play some newer titles. So this will be the only Fallout review I get for a wee while. I'll do the other ones whenever I can be fucking bothered, probably in the new year. Because there's games coming out, and there's games out that I've got that I'm neglecting, unfortunately. And no, fuck that. I'm going to dive into them, and I'll maybe do reviews of them, I might not. So the videos might slow down. They might not, I don't know, I'll see if I can manage my time a wee bit better. Working takes its toll. Doing the real life shit is exhausting at times, and I'm getting older. Don't like that either. That's a horrible fact of life. But there's only one alternative to getting older, and that's snuffing it, and I'm not really keen in doing that either. Well, one last thing. You get companions in this game, and you can have one robotic and one non-robotic, and you'll get them all over the place. There's Manny, who's a ghoul, who's voiced by Danny Trejo, which is kind of funny. You've got a Brotherhood of Steel person who's voiced by Felicia Day, if you know who she is. There's Arcade Gannon from I think he's from Freeside in New Vegas, and he's quite funny, quite handy to have a healer. Plus you'll get spy bots and dogs you can have kicking about with you. Please be aware though, if you are exploring in this game, to save often. Every time you go in and out of an area, like if you like load, like going through a door into a building and it needs to load, you will save. It will save automatically. But if you're out in the open for extended periods of time, it will autosave, but they're not quite as frequent. I think you can up that frequency though, but don't want it to autosave. So just remember to save. Otherwise, you're like a half an hour into a quest and you're like, fuck, it was all outside and I need to do it all again. Yeah. Anyway, people, thanks for watching and adios.